give me a nod when you're. Hello, everyone. I'm Pat Burns. I'm here with Connie Cleveland. Hi, Connie.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Great friend. We're at the 2019 National Amateur Championship in Ronan, Montana. 4 series water triple. They got a doozy here. And Connie just came offline with Nate. Had a very nice job. We talked a little bit about, she came up to the tent, looked at the diagram, had a strategy about what she thought she wanted to do. I want to ask Connie a little bit. Well, looking at this, tell me what Nate did.
Well, first of all, this gun is, you really got to work to get them to find that gun.
So the long, number one long retired gun, hard to pick out.
Well, and there's so much going on in the background, and if the sun is out, they're kind of backlit. If you got some cloud cover, it's a little easier, but I really spent a lot of time making sure he found that gun.
One thing we need to make sure we do is talk loud here, because the speaker's
right.
not the greatest. So I did notice, because I watched Test Dog, and the sun was back here behind me. Those guns lit up, and I thought, they're really visible now. What's going to happen when the sun backlets? And that's what you're describing.
Right. It just gets harder and harder, I think, to see them. If there's cloud cover, it's easier, but still, I mean, I just had to spend a lot of time making sure he found them. There's just so much going on in the background, too, for a dog from the south where we have tree-lined fields. They're just not used to looking at all this stuff.
Barns and tractors and
trucks going by.
Okay, so the first factor was just picking out the long gun.
Right, right. And then this gun's real easy to find, and the flyer was shot into the wind. It was fine. When he came back, the problem is that off the mat now, there's kind of a bad dog path that leads right to here, where they jump across, and then we're getting some hunts behind this gun, and there's a fence there, but they kind of come around. It's just ugly, and so I wanted to make sure that I tried to avoid that path and stayed up here. There's also, where would the hay bale be?
The hay bale is actually right in line with this line, but it's dead in line with my red line. But
yeah, and I think he took a couple loops around that hay bale. I've seen a lot of dogs do that. They hunt short. They think maybe that's the holding blind, but they pretty quickly work that out.
Yeah, and Ray was just up here a minute. Ray Volt, and you guys, he was talking to some clients, and we did talk about the danger of squaring off, launching, squaring the water, and putting up a hunt behind this gun.
Right.
So that screws that bird up. Do you think that affects what happens on the longbird if you do that?
I do, because I think that then they're more willing to come right back and jump into that water on the long gun, and they end up either between these two marks, where I've seen some dogs circle back into that mark. So, I really wanted to push and avoid all that water if I could.
But if you push too hard, you're at risk of getting in trouble over here.
And this is a huge look. I mean, they can see all that water, and so I think if you're not careful, they say, well, okay, you're sending me out there.
So what kind of look did you get when he first came back from the middle bird?
He looked out here first.
He looked left.
Yep. Oh. And then you're nervous about saying here, but yeah. I did give him one little here, and then pushed back out, kind of using that hay bale as my focal point. That's where I wanted him to be. And he did kind of jump across the skinny part of this water and stayed to the right of that hay bale, and then they have a moment of decision whether they're going to jump across that last piece of water.
I watched him from the tent, and I thought to myself when he went through here, I said, the fact that he didn't get, his momentum didn't get broke up by having to swim across here was a real positive thing.
That was my hope. My strategy was find the land bridge.
Yeah.
If you can. Find the land bridge so that he's just going.
Well, Connie, that was wonderful. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Best of luck through the rest of the National.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more stuff, folks.